Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Tax Show for People Who Owe. I'm Dave.
And I'm Phil.
And today, surprisingly enough, we're going to talk about the state of the IRS. Phil, there's a new administration in town. You may have heard.
I heard.
And there's a lot of noise out there about what's going to happen with the IRS.
Yes.
You've heard some of this?
Just the tip of the iceberg.
All right. Well, we're going to quiz Phil today on some of the items we've heard about to see if they're true or false. Some of the themes we've heard from the media, from people out there in the street, and even our own customers.
True.
Right? Okay. It's true?
That's true.
We've heard it. All right. Good. We're off to a good start. Let's start with the first question or theme we've heard about, Phil. Is the IRS going away? True or false?
That's a big false. I think it's here to stay, especially if it's responsible for raising, I think last year, $5.1 trillion of revenue.
And I believe that's around 96%, right around there?
Sounds about right.
Of all the government revenue. So in a nutshell, without the IRS revenue or collecting revenue, the government goes bankrupt.
Exactly.
Okay. So we believe that's true, and it's fair to say that it's not going away.
It's not going away.
All right, Phil, question 2. The IRS is going to stop or pause broader enforcement.
False. Now, it's a commonly held belief because we know the IRS funding got stripped away, and a lot of that was allotted for enforcement. However, while we see enforcement policy change, right, before they're focused on high income earners and things of that nature, but actually enforcement has been on and on for quite some time and slowly building.
Yeah. If you guys don't know, we covered in another episode that IRS enforcement was paused post-pandemic due to a paper backlog. And it's been back on now for a number of months.
Right.
And we're seeing more aggressive mailers like we covered in our last episode.
Indeed. And if you forgot, those are the LT11s, the CP90s. These are the final notices before the other shoe drops, active collections.
And that's when our taxpayers feel it, especially if they owe. Okay, Phil, let's go to number 3.
Okay.
There's a lot of uncertainty out there right now. Is it the best option to wait and see, kind of take a back seat and let's see what happens?
Well, you know what I'm going to say, right? Do something. So
what I want us to do nothing. That's doing something, nothing.
So that advice or that recommendation is a big false. I don't think it's a good idea to wait and see, because one thing that does happen, which is the truth, no matter what's going on, penalties and interest accrue and compound daily. Right now, it's hovering about 7.5%, and we know interest rates are going the wrong direction and probably will be for the near future.
Yeah, we covered during the pandemic that when this pause was happening, that the message then was to act soon because interest rates are high. And even when the IRS wasn't enforcing, we encouraged everybody to participate. That same message applies today.
Absolutely, and in spades.
So if you're considering checking out based on all this noise or the themes or whatever you're hearing out there, it's probably the bad move. With what we do know, Phil, is that there's going to be a reduction in IRS workforce, right?
Yep, and an increase in wait time.
Right, so, and a reduction in service, which means that it's going to be harder for the average taxpayer to engage. So we would you should strongly consider engaging with a tax professional or calling Optima to help you through this mess if you're dealing with it. All right, hopefully that helped you guys understand what's really happening out there in the tax world and help you make better decisions with your tax debt. Phil, any last parting words today?
As usual, do something, especially on the fence, because the IRS is not going away.
True. Thank you for joining us today, everyone. We'll see you next time. Hey, everyone. Thank you for watching today. Please remember to like
and subscribe.
And if you are a taxpayer who owes, we encourage you to go to our website, optimataxrelief.com.
And remember, do something.